Welcome to our program. I welcome Nina Coleman. She is the Sandy Neck Beach Park Manager. How are you, Nina?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Sarah?
I am well. So good to talk to you. I know you have a lot going on over there. The storms recently have been just devastating for Sandy Neck, but you guys are actually putting some sand out there today.
We are. We started trucking, well, we, not personally, but sand started being trucked into our parking lot on Thursday, and they placed a bunch of sand on the dune in front of the lower lot, and we are feeling a lot better about our situation right now.
Great. I know I saw some pictures earlier in the week, and the parking lot was actually showing through in the dunes there. Pretty Severe wearing away of that sand.
Very scary. I've never seen, obviously, a winter quite like this. It started with that late January storm. I'm losing track of the names. What was Juno? Juno was the first one. It came in and took away all of the sacrificial sand that we had just placed, or most of the sacrificial sand that we had just placed on the beach in December. So very concerning, particularly in the lower lot area. There was pretty much zero protection of dune in front of the lot. Some places just 6 inches between the drop-off and the edge of pavement. Very, very worrisome situation for our lower lot. We coned it off, even though it was kind of hard to get up there with all the snow, but we didn't want any extra weight pushing down on that dune. And then, of course, the storms just kept rolling in with the last one, which I believe was Neptune, over last Sunday, took that dune back even further and actually made the dune concave instead of straight up and down. And that was that. I mean, it was down to the wire. In terms of the integrity of the dune in just our lower lot. And we expedited the sand and got it on here just in time.
Wow, so amazing that you can get sand expedited during all this winter weather, freezing cold temperatures. What's it like out there trying to put sand out there in these conditions?
Well, it's brutal. Today is very cold. Fortunately, the guys are in some heated equipment. What they're doing right now is there's the trucks rolling in constantly. They dump the sand in the lower lot, and then a big excavator scoops it up and brings it over the side of the dune and dumps it over the side of the dune, and then sculpts it, pushes it in, packs it in to bunker it. So they've been at that since Thursday. We're going to work into the weekend. These guys, I got to tell you, anybody who drives heavy equipment has been up pretty much for the last month. So these are the same guys that are clearing our roads at night and then showing up here and working on the dunes. So it's a really tough winter. We hired a private company, Dig It Construction. They've been working on this project, and they've been great getting this done as quick as possible. We really were looking at sand placement the first week in March, and with that last storm, there wasn't gonna be any reason to place it. The parking lot would have been gone by then. So we're very grateful that everybody has pulled together to get this done.
Wow, Nina, I mean, the fear here is losing the parking lot. This is what we're trying to save here, correct?
We're concerned about losing the parking lot. Yes, I'm very concerned. The last winter was the upper lot. I was on your show many times talking about my concerns about losing the upper lot and the septic system, and that, of course, is a health issue. That area has been okay this year. We've lost some sand in that location, but the energy that's coming in from the storms has moved a bit, and now it's directed at the lower lot. And yeah, if we lose it, it's very hard to get it back. It's very hard financially. It's very expensive, and it's not even possibly feasible until you try through the regulatory process. So the last thing we want to do is lose any lot. It's very precious.
I know there's been a lot of conversation, too, during Sandy Neck Board meetings about plans for the future, just how to protect the sand and keep that sand built up. What do you see in the future for the protection of this resource?
Well, we're scrambling. You know, this whole shoreline is getting hammered. if you read the paper about Sandwich, we're the same shoreline. We have the same issues, and it's partially climate change and sea level rise. It's also this trend we're in. It's very trendy, the weather. It's just everything's coming out of the north. So it's hard to say if this is the new normal or if we're just in a really bad stretch right now. But either way, we have to address this. Obviously, we have to get through this winter, which is why we're, putting a lot of money into sand and putting it on the beach and on the dune. And in the fall of 2015, everything is on track right now for putting up those big core bags and trying to get something a little more stable. So those bags are very expensive. We've already hired a consultant to do design and permitting. We're working on the funding piece right now through the fiscal year 16 budget, and we hope to have something in place by next fall that can withstand these big storms a little better. Now, having said all that, a lot of people are like, why don't you just armor it? Why don't we get some big stones and make it more permanent? And that is not a possibility through the regulatory process any longer. That is just completely off the table. And really what we're trying to do is a softscape, which may hopefully be something we can get permits for. It is more of a temporary fix. It's definitely not a permanent fix, but we're hoping to get through this bad cycle.
Now, Nina, why is that off the table as far as permitting goes? Is there an environmental hazard there?
Yeah, it's really an old school way of addressing erosion. There are obviously a lot of armored banks and dunes in our town, and those were put in many, many years ago, and there's some ability to maintain those, but it's impossible to get a permit to allow that. And part of that is that those armoring structures actually cause, in some cases, more harm than good. They will cause a lot of beach loss in front of them because the energy from the waves is dispersed and takes the sand out in front of the structure, and also it causes damage to adjacent properties. So the regulatory agencies, of which there are many, many, many that are involved with these projects, would not and do not allow those structures any longer. These new technologies that are coming out after Hurricane Sandy and have been tried in other beaches to the south of us is sort of a new wave of ideas on how to shore up areas that are, in front of parking lots and in front of private homes. And it's pretty new to even ask for this through the regulatory process. So we're pushing for it. It's going to be a difficult road to even get a softscape in there, such as the rolls and more sand. So it's hard. It's very hard, and particularly at Sandy Neck because it's an area of critical environmental concern. So that gets more agencies involved and stronger regulatory language for any of these projects. And then we also have all our endangered species, so that complicates matters even more.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Well, thank you, Nina, for giving us the update today. And of course, we'll continue to check in with you and follow the progress there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Stay warm.
You as well. Nina Coleman is the Sandy Neck Beach Park Manager for Channel 18. I'm Sarah Mantle.